Hello, everybody. It is Night Dragon, and this is JoJo.
Hello.
We are here to discuss three YouTubers. We'll start with the first one, and the reason it's only three is because there are too many people on YouTube to go over,
Yeah, we're
and
not
we
going to
don't
talk
have
about
all
the ones
day.
that have falsely accused, but they have
Yeah,
proven we're not.
what? You cut out there.
Okay, are we talking about the ones that I told you about were falsely accused?
Yes, and also the ones that were accused. I guess it technically sits, but I really don't
Okay,
want to cover over too much. We'll
I
just
get it.
give
Okay,
some
I'll make
basic
it
detail.
short. Okay, I'll make it short.
Uh, yeah. All right.
Because I didn't send you
So
any video.
I'm
You
just
don't know
gonna
about
keep this in a
here?
video, everyone. I don't feel like doing this over again
Okay.
because I feel like every time I
I'm
um
sorry. I had to ask. Okay, I just remembered. Okay, I'm sorry.
okay. So anyway, we had to discuss the mini lab one. He's the very first one that I think I could do without a problem, to be honest. Anyway, he was about 20 plus years old. We don't really, me and JoJo don't really know. Also, you wonder what our real names are. I'm just gonna go by real name from here on out. I'm Lewis. He's Romney. Romney doesn't really know if, and me also do not know. I know I was speaking just fine before, but I just realized I threw myself out of the situation. I don't know either. Anyway, the age exactly. I mean, it's probably like 24 or something, like 22, 24. Anyway, he was really a manipulated guy, and obviously he was by far one of the worst people I think I've ever heard about. Not like I was ever a fan or I watched his channel or anything,
Yeah, we never
but
really saw Thanos gaming.
and I also never watched any of the Vanoss gaming crew. But I can basically off general he was manipulating throughout the whole thing. He said lies and just constantly putting up a fake face. But we're
Terrible
not
friend.
we're not here to just talk about him. Obviously, he's done a lot of manipulation to the younger girls too, and also he does tend to come back every once in a while, which thank goodness the fan base that knew him and knew everything that he did is still preventing him. But unfortunately, there are other YouTubers that most likely come back and get away with just coming back. Hopefully, the other communities are going to keep taking them down too, because, well, not by taking them, just not supporting them, because supporting these people that did crimes is just wrong, and it should not be allowed. And the fact that YouTube just allows them to come back on is kind of a problem. Not gonna lie. By kinda, I mean, in my opinion, it's a huge problem. But for YouTube, it might just be kind of a problem for them. So
And it really should be
under
bigger.
understand that this is from my perspective and the way I view it. I don't know what YouTube does for their system, but I hope whatever they do, they make sure that they at least penalty the YouTubers that do these things, because if they're allowed to just keep doing the same thing on their channel and with no penalties, it's kind of a problem because you're still supporting those messed up individuals that got away with basically getting away with it. I mean, obviously,
Yes.
we can do our part, but what are they going to do? YouTube's not going to stop supporting them, then it's just going to be an endless streak of us suffering because of YouTube not also taking a part in this. So I just feel like people like Minilab, and there are many others, you can all go into like searching it up yourselves and that. Obviously, we don't want to put any impressions out there to only go for like who we think. We would like it if everyone obviously does their own research and sees for everything themselves.
Yes.
And not only that, because we're also here to talk about some falsely accused people too.
Yes.
Like, you can go ahead and go over to that. I'll let JoJo take it from here.
Okay, so first, falsely accused person I'm going to talk about is sadly no longer with us. They took their own life. He was a TikToker by the name of Inquisitor. He was a cosplayer, and he was falsely accused and by two people, by someone who we actually thought was a friend at first, but then she took certain words he said and messages out of context, told her boyfriend, who was actually older than she was, and he might be considered a PDF file. We don't even know. But either way, they both harassed him, and then they had involved another person to harass him, and sadly, he just couldn't take it no more. They've since apologized, but the community has not forgiven them for what they've done by making everything just out of context, and neither have I. I don't know if they're in jail or not, but I hope that their crimes will be paid for. And then we also have Quite, who beat the
Wait, hold up,
allegation.
hold up. What you also forgot, I think, didn't you? Did you? I think you forgot to mention that she also had a friend that was supporting her at that time that realized that she was in the wrong afterwards.
Yes, you're right. Actually, yes, you're right. There was a friend who was putting allegations on him and made it bigger, the story bigger. But when she realized everything that happened after he committed what happened, after he took his own life and is no longer with, she did apologize. I believe her. Out of those three, I believe her that she actually did feel bad because she saw the messages that her friends sent her that he knew, but she put them out of context to make it seem like he was more of a groomer, more of someone who was actually trying to assault her when he wasn't. Okay, so whoever that TikToker is, I hope she gets her TikTok back. I feel like she's actually sad and apologetic.
Yeah.
The other two, though, the boyfriend and girlfriend, I can't. I'm not gonna deal with them.
All right. So the next victim.
Right. The next person who got falsely accused would be the allegations. His name is Quite. His name is Quite. He's on YouTube still, and he was a pretty big YouTuber before the allegations. But when they came out against him, the person who made them was actually the person who groomed him. They were PDF file. They manipulated him to doing acts that he didn't even want to do, and it almost ruined his whole career. He lost a lot of subs, and he had to make an apology video where he had to expose his actual face, which he never did before. He always had a mask on, but he's been able to get out of it. He's gotten his channel back to a pretty great deal, I would say, and I hope the best for him. I know he's probably still recovering from it, but I'm glad he could make it out of there without having too much loss. And then there is, go ahead.
All right. So as y'all can see that there are some victims that also get falsely um, what you call it?
Accused,
They
falsely accused.
accused. That's the word. They get falsely accused, and when they're actually innocent, people then end up realizing they shouldn't have followed the trend, because of that trend, they ended up exiling an innocent person. That's why we're telling you to not just follow every video on YouTube. I mean, listen, of course, don't just be in denial, but try to get the information also for yourself to study through each video and that.
Exactly.
Try to learn how to read between the lines and the motives in every text yourself. Don't rely on
Because
other
what?
people to do all the work. Anyway,
Okay.
Cody was around 24 and she was around 16 years old. They had multiple relations, not just one. One that was documented, the others that were later found out and proven true. So, yeah. Uh, Cody is definitely not really clearing himself up either. He was really just like not even bringing any evidence on the table to prove that any of that was wrong. And he was even more uncomfortable when talking about it because I'm pretty sure that he even remembers what he did. Because his friend was talking about how he didn't approve it and it was disgusting. And obviously, if it was anxiety, it'd be a different story. But, with the proof and evidence and everything, it's kind of obvious that he's thinking about the past mistake he made. Anyway, with that being said, that alone is like one of the YouTubers, and he still is trying to come back. And people have been, I believe, not letting him go through. Right? They've been denying him.
They have been, and there are videos more and more coming out about how he's not good. So people know. But I'm gonna say this problem at the end with how this whole situation goes on nowadays. But go ahead.
All right. So anyway, as y'all should know that he is one of the other YouTubers. Like these people, when they leave YouTube, you would think they would stay away, but they don't. They actually come back apparently, and YouTube doesn't really stop them or put any penalties on them. Without any penalties, there's nothing to stop them from trying to rebuild their, audience again and get that
Yes.
same audience and that same victims that they previously had that could now happen again.
The only thing that happened to him was a tweet saying that he left, but at the same time, he's probably still getting paid.
Yeah, and it doesn't say he's separated from the group. It just says he's not working there from day to day. It didn't go over him being completely taken away from the group. So if whoever typed this didn't really do a great job. And the worst part is this was behind a paywall. You had to pay to see this
On Patreon, for God's sake.
just to know that that would go out. Like you're paying to get such a terrible response is just ridiculous. This should have been released free and publicly.
Or just make a video about it.
Or a video, yeah. Instead, they ended up doing that and it made it even worse because all the people that actually are good in there that are working hard, they can't if people stop supporting them because of him, they're getting punished because of him. And that point, it's like that studio will eventually go under because of him, because they don't want to remove him, and it's written like they have sympathy for him, and I don't think that that's fair because all the employee members that are working there, they get punished because of him
Exactly.
too. They didn't do it, so they didn't do his crime. They shouldn't pay for his crimes. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Anyway, uh, besides that, I
Yes, I
believe
have.
that is your turn to talk about the ukulele incident
Yes.
that is not the main point of it. The main point is
It's
what happened before that.
Miss Colleen Ballinger and or Miranda Sings is her YouTube channel. She went ahead and she's done multiple things over the years. Apparently, she's not only done revenge porn of one of her used to be trusted friends on OnlyFans, and then made fun of her for having weight. She also sent inappropriate lingerie to a boy who was only 14 years old, had inappropriate texts with this person and her other underage fans. And then she also has done inappropriate things with her underage fans on stage, knowing how old her audience is and knowing who watches her videos. Like, how do you do that? I don't know, and I don't know how she got away with it for so long. But everyone only remembers her for her apology video, which wasn't even an apology. It was only her singing about what was alleged against her,
But in
and
reality, it
then
was fact.
exactly. But everyone just saw it and was like, wow, this is so cringe. It's so funny at the same time. So everyone kind of just bypassed it, but some people did know it, and she has taken a back away from her videos, but at the same time, she has another channel to go. Now, we are going to say this: she is a mother, so getting money will be important for her children, but it would not excuse what you did.
Yeah,
Like if someone was a father and
and
did this, it would not
they would get
excuse it.
punished harshly, which isn't fair.
Exactly.
Because if you're gonna punish one group and partially higher than the other, it's like ridiculous. It's genderist. That's like saying that a woman should get not the same treatment as a guy would be getting for punishment for doing such a horrendous crime. Like that doesn't make any sense. If a guy murders, it's not fine. But then that just says that if a girl murders, she's let off. Obviously, that's not what happened, but this is the example I'm basically getting from this very YouTube response. Because there has been guys, they've been executed on their mistakes, and this girl has been left alone and unattacked. And on top of that,
Okay.
she's coming back with views
Yes.
and the same amount of lights. And I'm
Yes.
sorry for
People
cutting
will
you off.
still people are still hate bombing her in a way, but at the same time, it's getting less and less because what is it really doing besides getting her views and a little
Yeah,
more attention?
yeah, and then on
YouTube needs
top,
to do something about this.
and then there is one more thing. Also, I'm sorry that I keep cutting you off. I keep
It's okay.
remembering. So anyway, the on top of all that, to make it worse, you know how there are comments. She has them on view, so if anything negative is said, she can stop it. She'll just get rid of it. So therefore, if none of the real true comments could come out and expose her for what she's been done in the past and how that she shouldn't be left off the hook. Instead, it's only all the parents that are not into like all the drama on YouTube and don't know everything, and the kids, which is very messed up. Because not only are you making it harder for people to expose you again, it's making it hard for parents to know about what you did.
Yes, and
And,
see this
and
leads
then,
me in, like,
and
can I go on a
then,
little rant real quick
uh,
after you talk?
yeah. And then I also want to bring out some of the past stuff that she did. Other than that, the past things she did in front of the children and some of these, like I
Oh
think was
yes,
a
please talk about
convention,
that. I just saw those with you right now. I was like,
like
what the f?
the some of the stuff that she's done in the past is not even appropriate in front of the children audience. I think was it at a convention or what was it at?
It might have. I don't know. It might have been at one of her conventions. I just know she was the main purpose for them to go there. So
Yeah, well, whatever the
I
case
don't even
is,
want to see her YouTube channel if that's the case.
like it's ridiculous because you doing these inappropriate things in front of children is even further worse because you're doing it right in front of everybody. You're not making yourself look any better than you already was.
And then what are the parents thinking about this who are bringing their kids there, or are they just all in a separate room getting drunk?
I don't know, but I mean, I'm not gonna judge parents because they're probably tired, exhausted. They probably don't realize what's happening in front of their eyes. But as for the ones that do, they're probably thinking, "Oh no, it's just fine. It's nothing too out of
Mm.
ordinary." Maybe their standards are different from what it used to be back in the day. But if my parent saw me with this lady and saw the things she did in front of me, they would not be happy. I'm gonna tell you the truth. They would be upset, massively upset, Im- immeasurably upset. That's the word. They'll be immeasurably upset because of how outrageous that is. Probably now these times have changed, but at some point you gotta realize when things are getting too far loosely and unhinged. I mean, if everything is just let out to do whatever it wants, we will literally have no like words or restrictions on what can
Exactly.
be
There's just be
said.
no limit.
And then the only thing that's punishing the innocent people, their normal like normal day cursing is one thing, but this is like a whole new level right here. Anyway, you can go on, and I'm sorry for interrupting, like I said, throughout this
Oh,
whole
it's
video.
fine. You had every right to talk about that because I literally forgot to mention that. How are you gonna have a bag of candy in your pants right next to a kid and then pull it out, make it look like you touching yourself? That's just.
I mean, and then why is it right there on your pants? Why isn't it at the side of your shoulder? Why don't you have a fanny pack or something? That's also a
Why
thing.
not just give the kid candy?
Why not have a purse? There's so many
Thank you.
reasons. It doesn't make any sense.
Have some pockets.
You I know probably pockets won't be right because they've squished the candy or something. But there's a purse you could have had. You could have had a fanny pack. There were things that you could have done. Because when I
Pinata.
saw that scene, I mean, why would it be a pinata? Then every kid wouldn't
I
get a
don't know,
chance
but
to
just to
break
have
it.
a pinata full of candy is just a better
Just
thing to
have a
do than that.
couple of pinatas. That's what made sense. Yeah, I'm sorry. It just doesn't make any sense to have pinata. Anyway, the only thing is that we just want to spread awareness. We want y'all out there to realize that these things happen on YouTube. We
Yes.
want y'all to also take a chance to like realize what's going on and try to stop people like this. Because it doesn't end here. I wish I could say it was just three people. That's it.
Oh,
There
no.
are many, many people. Many. Some of
It's
them
okay for.
are in jail too, I believe, right? And actually,
I
the
only
people
remember
that.
seeing that one went to jail and then he got
Oh,
released
God.
recently.
Oh, Lord. Well, either way, just know that these people are out there on YouTube. Always stay vigilant.
Her
You have
ad
something.
accent. Yes.
You have something else you want to talk about?
Yes, I do.
All right, go ahead. Then we'll end the video.
Okay, the thing I want to say is first, I'll make this short and sweet. To the parents who don't know what your kids are watching, please find out just in case they are talking to someone who they should not be talking to in a way that is inappropriate. That's all
And
I'm gonna
that
say about that.
includes also social media. Check your kids' social medias, your
Please.
girls, your sons. It could happen to
You
boys
know
too.
what
What
to
happens
mention.
to girls can happen to boys, and we want
Definitely.
y'all to like have realization of that. Because when it's a guy making an accusation on a girl, it's taken less serious than when it's a girl on a guy. Because even
And
guys,
a lot of shows talked about this. South Park had a whole episode about it.
yeah, it's really sad that we have to bring this up to remind everyone because I feel like it's still happening in today's society where guys are taken less serious than girls still.
Oh, trust me, it is. There was
When
an actor, right? He got assaulted and he told everyone about it, and everyone was like, "Wow, you are less of a man. Why didn't you just punch him in the face?" He could get fired. He could lose his whole job and everything. And they were saying, "Wow, you are so weak for not making a scene."
like
Really?
I don't know what to say. Like society thinks that everybody's supposed all the guys are supposed to be strong-willed in that and that they have the ability to fight for themselves at all times. There are situations that can happen where women or other transgenders can take advantage. Like it's not just women. I won't say that. Guy, women, transgender, it can go any way. It just
It can.
situations are always different. I'm not gonna exclude anyone because the fact is it's possible. And it's really sad because it's not taken serious in today's society, even to this day.
Yes. Now,
And
the last thing. Go ahead.
and I just want to go on more about what I was saying. TikTok, all that stuff, social medias, and including live streams, YouTube stuff. Don't let your child do like these private talks without paying attention to who they're talking to, and make sure that the YouTuber isn't telling them to do anything that's inappropriate or to tell them when not to talk, like talk the way that we usually talk. Just try to pay attention to every key detail. As a parent, that is very well your responsibility. And I honestly don't feel like I should have to repeat these strategies. There are many ways. You don't even have to tell the YouTuber that you're watching them. You have a
Exactly.
right and a privilege to be there as the parent.
Be involved in your child's life.
Yeah, and who knows? You might even find something that you and your child both enjoy to watch together. And honestly, that's what I recommend that parents watch things with their children too, because that could help you not only know what your child's watching, but it can make you have a better bond for a long term. I mean, obviously, they don't want you watching every little thing with them, but it's better to be
Of course.
safe than sorry.
Yes.
Now, you can continue what you were saying. I'm sorry once again for
It's
interrupting.
okay. It's fine. Like, it's fine because you're adding on to this, okay? And you know what? It's good for this. Now, the second thing I want to mention is about just, well, it's two things, really. First thing, don't just take all this, like, the minute a drama happens, don't take it in your own hands to either assault the person or to make up your own allegations against them, okay? Because if, let's say, you decide, I'm gonna go get this person arrested myself, you could instead get yourself in trouble for causing assault on them, and then they could get away, and then no one believes that they did anything because oh, you just got punched in the face by some random guy. Who knows what the hell happened? And then, not only that, let's say you decide to make a whole bunch of videos and then try to get all these accusations out when you know they're false, but you just want to get the money for it. You're just a scumbag and you're just making it worse. Don't do that, please. Just get the actual information and then say what happened and then just try and let that be it. And hopefully the law will come out and arrest them. And then the last thing I want to say, when these dramas happen, I want y'all to keep the same energy up. Don't go after YouTubers who don't talk about it until the whole thing comes out and tell them, why are you saying anything? Why aren't you pressuring on? Why are you not doing your part? Until they actually make a video and then they have to say they were waiting for all the information. And then when that person comes back, you're like, oh, they're back. Well, who cares? Y'all were so adamant about making sure that they stay away and get canceled, but then they can just come back like nothing. Don't let that crap happen. Make sure YouTube knows that they're here, and make sure they know that these people have committed acts that are not okay, and then you want them to go away. Because if they come back, they can just do the same thing over and over and over again. So how about we just all make sure we keep the same energy the whole time. We don't let these people come back and ruin YouTube. Because if they do come back, and every single one of them does, and they keep making these horrible mistakes on purpose, so they're not even mistakes, really. They're just gonna make sure the site is known for one thing, and that's harboring PDF files. And we don't want that. We have actual good people on this platform that I would like to have.
And I would like to add on to that once again. As he said, that don't go and cause trouble for yourself. That is very important because many people will think to do stuff for views and that, and do things that are irresponsible too. So I really would like it also that y'all did not do anything stupid and just put in the laws, and law is supposed to take care of this. Sadly, we do not have more influence to help the law move it along quicker, but we can only do what we can. And as much as frustrating and as upsetting that may be, you have to understand that there's circumstances, things that must be done before the person could be brought to court or such other things are involved. As legal issues go, you cannot just legally just say, well, there's evidence right there, it's good enough. It actually needs to have time to run through the system and them to get the permission and the form to do these things. As much as I
Yes.
hate to say it, the law has still restrictions on people that do bad things like this because they still have to get the permission to do said things. They're not entirely like empowered to overthrow the law of breaking in a house just because they have evidence. They have to still run through the same stuff. So don't put it on the law enforcement that it's their fault that they're not doing it quick enough. Because as much as I hate to say it, there is a system that is preventing them, and what you call it? What's the word for this?
What are you
A
trying to say?
process. There's a process they have to go
Yeah.
through, and until they
And
go through
while
that
it is
process,
a little
they
flawed, it's just there, and we just have to go through it because it will work at some in some points.
yeah, and the process once it's done, they get sent to jail actually, and everything's taken care of. So don't go and breaking in people's houses that are known for these things. Don't go doing something stupid like trying to attack them. Otherwise, you're the one ending up in jail, not them. And then you're giving them more excuses to be pitied for because
Exactly.
you, a person that was upset at them, attacked them. And as much as many people might agree, there will still be a few people that they could take this out of context and get like a group of people to defend them and be like, well,
Yeah.
what if this wasn't true in that? Which
And then
causes
imagine
more
that person was
problems.
actually proven innocent, then you just assaulted someone who actually didn't do it.
Yeah, that's part of the reason. That's why we say don't give out threats and that. And besides that, the last thing I want to cover is what else did you say? What was the other
I
thing?
said, don't forget what happened and then just pretend like it was all in the past now, okay? Because
Oh yeah,
usually what happens is on the internet is a drama happens and then it's over and then we act like that just
yeah,
was just in
yeah.
the past.
Okay, okay.
Just
I'm
don't let
gonna
it
go
go.
from that. Let me add more on that. So, YouTube has a crazy thing about it. See, YouTube doesn't really do anything that's too crazy to these YouTubers, I believe. So, it's up to us to keep the trend going. Well, not trend, but what is it called? The process going of trying to shun these people from the internet platform that we are on. They
Please.
don't deserve to get any mercy for the things they've done, especially when they manipulated or among the other crimes they have committed.
Against
So,
children, all people.
yes. And I know one of them is not like, what you call it, it's not like they did it to like one person, they did it to two, so it may seem like they deserve it more, which that is, they deserve it just as much as the other person that still did it to one person deserves it.
Exactly.
Like the same thing, if Minilab is getting canceled every day, Cody also should be getting, and the same thing with gender. Don't let it be down to just stopping and forgetting all about the other people. You gotta keep
Exactly.
remembering.
Miranda,
Keep
Cody,
check.
Minnie, all of them.
Like you don't have to be subscribed to people to know. You just gotta keep their name memorized and research them up every once in a while to make sure they're not making videos. And if they are, obviously spread awareness that they're still there and they're still trying to make the channel platform give them money so they can like benefit from it because it's
Exactly.
messed up. You should not be able
Yeah.
to be let off freely to do whatever you want. As much as YouTube
No,
is a free platform to be creative and do your own thing, there's also got to be restrictions to the point where people like them that do these huge crimes should not be able to just come back on it. We all need to remember to do our part and shun them as well. Because I won't put everything on
if
YouTube
they
because
change,
you. But yeah,
then that's the
if they change, it is a different position. But even
yeah,
then, obviously, still be alert and make sure that you're still watching them because
yeah,
as much it could be a change, it could be a facade of what they want you to think happened. Some people will catch on to it, not everyone will, because it depends on the person. You know, there are different situations in that. With that being said, I think that's everything. We can go ahead and let y'all go. I hope y'all are having a blessed day and a blessed weekend. We are going to go ahead and go off. This is the only time I'm going to do this serious video. Hopefully, I'm hoping that in the future this will be taken care of more, and I'm hoping that everybody would do a little more shunning to all these YouTubers that just come back, because it's not just PDF, right? There are
yeah,
others.
PDF. Yes, there
Yeah,
are others.
there are other things, not just PDF file. There
Yes,
are also people that have committed crimes, have
people
faked
who are just
people's
straight up
deaths,
racist back here.
people that have faked people's death, many
Yeah,
other things
people be
that
profiting
YouTube.
off of that. Some people just wait like a day after a famous person dies, and it's like, okay, we're gonna summon them back from the grave.
Yeah, that is fucked up. I hate that. Like honestly, the fact that they would do that is so degrading to the person and their memory. I don't like it at all. I didn't want to bring this up because I know it's going to add more, but I will say this. The fact that these people get away with doing all these things, horrible things on YouTube, we should really do more to shun a lot more people out that are doing a bunch of messed up crap. Not just these specific, what you call it, situations. Every situation should get punished. Like assaulting somebody, all that stuff across the board should be fixed.
Exactly, because like there is free speech, and I get it. We're in America, but on the other hand, there's just messed up behavior, and it's just
And let's
people need to.
also let's also talk about that. Free speech is amazing, But guess
But
what? On YouTube, we don't get that free speech
we
entirely.
don't even.
There are
We
still
can't say certain
restrictions.
words. We have to
Yeah,
censor ourselves, and it's really hard to go over this crap because of how much we have to censor.
yeah, and we were trying not to censor this. We just want y'all to get the idea, the relations that were happening between the individuals that were of inappropriate age, all that stuff. The fact that you get censored for saying the truth is kind of crazy to me. But at the same time, I guess I understand it because kids will probably look it up. I don't know. I just still feel like
I
YouTube
don't know.
should
See,
have
here's the
a
thing:
more
YouTube is
understanding.
only censoring a lot of this because of money. Because who wants? Because what advertisement is going to be on the video about someone who did something to a minor or someone who themselves? It's because of the ads. That's what they're doing.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. This is a problem, and we all need to keep an eye out for these people and not let them do what they want. Because if they're just allowed to do the same mistake over and over again, they're not going to even probably do the same mistake. They'll probably learn. That's the worst part about it. Because as much as you could say that they're getting punished for like being banded out, some of them don't get as punished as we already talked about, which is not
Yeah.
fair. And then on top of that, that's going to lead to many people suspecting every YouTuber in the damn thing might end up being the same thing. Because
And
there are
the
so
other thing
many.
is, if someone's been doing this for years, why would they just stop now just because they got canceled? If they could just come back like nothing.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like, there's nothing you can really do to really save this. There's just too much bad things out in YouTube that is allowed and it should not be. So, with that being said, we are done. I am sorry. I keep dragging it out. And
It's fine.
we just keep dragging it out because we are upset. That's it, okay?
You're upset and we just want change. So just YouTube change this so we can help the kids because the world already doesn't care too much about them no more.
Yeah, we have a bad enough world as it is. All right. Well, I hope you all understand what happened in this video, and I hope you all are doing better than than we are right now. We're not very emotionally happy, obviously, and if you're gotten upset from seeing what these people have done on YouTube too, you can check out the links in the description as well. I mean, I don't know. Should I put the videos? No. You know what? No. Y'all go search this up yourselves. Because
Hmm.
if y'all do it, y'all be able to find more stuff probably along the way that could help improve y'all view on the. If we give you everything, then well, you're all gonna not look for it yourself, and you'll get probably more information than what we've given you here.
Yeah.
So, well, I hope you all understand what we're talking about and understand what we're going through on this video. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.